Something a bit special, I'm going to give you a very early view of the very early access to the Role Virtual Tabletop. It's a new virtual tabletop, it's just out. Kickstarters are even now starting to have a good look at it. It's an incremental development. As I say, very early access, but I think there's enough there to get a really good look at it. So I'm going to give you a bit of a tour around it. You'll see, I think, early on that it's trying to do something a little bit different from the other virtual tabletops that are already established. And it's nice to see what they're doing because it's, as I say, it's a little bit different. And I think the focus is, well, I think it's a good focus. So I wanted to sort of show it off as quickly as possible. So there we are. So I'm going to disappear now, mercifully, and try to give you the maximum, if you like, screen real estate for Role, and we'll just sort of take a little look round it. Okay, so without further ado, let's transition across to that. I'm going to just do some fiddling around in the background to make sure that all works. Okay, well, let's see how we go here. Right. Sign in. So I'm going to sign in. If you don't have an account yet, well, Kickstarters get the early access, which is nice. If you're interested, there's an option here to put your email address in and to sign up for, to be notified, if you like, when Role is going to broaden its user base from this very, very early access view. I'm going to sign in. Signing in takes you to your dashboard. And the dashboard essentially shows you really sort of three things. To your left, it shows you the tables that you have created. So these are the games that you've created. And also the tables that you have joined. I haven't yet joined any. It's too early. But I have created a couple of, well, one table for anger, if you like, one table for test. I'm going to create a table in a moment. You also get to view your sheets. Now, your sheets are your character sheets. You can have multiple character sheets in a table, and they do sort of, if you like, sit separately as well. And finally, your assets. Your assets, if you like, is the digital content that you're adding into your games. And they're either going to be maps, graphics, or indeed, if I just scroll down, you can see tokens. So it will be your tokens, effectively. Interesting to see how this plays out. I think early on, getting some way of being able to manage your content a little better, probably with folders, is going to be very, very helpful because you're soon going to get to a point where you're going to be struggling to find what you're looking for. Okay, so that's kind of where we are. As you can see, we're in very early access, 0.2.4, but let's see how we go. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to create a table for you now. New table. I'm going to give it a name, which I'm going to call it as my table test. I'm going to leave it that. Game templates. Well, there are some games already loaded into Role. Most significantly, perhaps Dungeons & Dragons 5e, but there are some other great games in here. Mothership is another one that I have. I'm going to have no template for now. I'm going to create this table. It creates a password for your table. So this is the password and link for inviting people to it. You can change these at any time. I'm not going to do anything about that right now. I'm just going to confirm that for now. You can come back to that. Look, my picture, sorry. And yeah, sheets and videos and your dice roller. Okay, let's first of all, let's do the join video thing. So I'm going to click on join video. That's going to fire that up. I'm already linked into the Role. Otherwise, you need to tell your browser that it's okay for Role to gain access to your webcam. Now, the interesting thing about Role is that they've gone for the audio-visual experience. So I haven't run it with many people yet. I'm looking forward to doing that. But yeah, the idea is a rock-solid audio-visual experience. And that's what they've centered the tabletop on, which I really think is the right way to go. But they have provided us with lots of tools, and I'm going to show you kind of those tools, well, now. So to your left over here, you can see sheets. So these are your character sheets, avatar pictures, and so on. I'm going to create a sheet. There are some templates. Now, if I'd selected, for example, as the table template to be D&D 5e, essentially the sheet that you could create here would be a D&D 5e sheet. As it is, I've selected none, so I get all of them. I'm going to select the if you like, the stock notes sheet, and I'm going to call it just notes. So not very exciting for now. I'm going to create that sheet. I've got a note sheet. Now, I did mention that you can create multiple sheets. So if I wanted to view sheets here, I could create other sheets. So I could have a note sheet and a character sheet if I wanted. What I'm looking forward to, what we're all looking forward to as Kickstarters, is the capability to have if you like, a design your own sheet, which is coming. So you can build your own capabilities here, rather than necessarily going with the templates that are there. For now, I'm going to leave it as it is. I've got a note sheet. Hello, notes. Marvelous. If I wanted to make some notes. You can also bosh that away to the side so it's out of the way, and it gives you that bit slightly more maximal space to do your stuff. I'll look at the dice roller here, comes in and out. I'm going to go with the D20. At the moment we have all the main polyhedral dice, plus a cards capability as well, currently playing cards. Let's start with the D20. You can roll at any time. Marvellous, I've got a 17, I'm sure that's good. If you've got a character sheet operating to the left, you can select a skill. That'll give you a plus perhaps to your roll, and that gives you an overall result. If I wanted to roll 2d20, well, I can roll 2d20, get two different results. Okay, that's a dice roller, which is kind of quite neat. Let's look at assets on a roll table. So I'm going to go bottom left, bottom right even. Now I have no assets yet on this table. It's a brand new table. So I'm going to put some assets in. I'm going to add some assets to here. I'm going to add a map, I think would be quite good. I'm going to upload an asset. So I'm going to go away and find a map. Cool. Right, let's find a map. There's a map. Let's bob that in. And I'm going to call it Ruins. And I'm going to tell it it's a map, and I'm going to add it to my assets. Just having a think about that. Just having a long think about that. Very good. There's the assets. Now, as it happens, if it comes to a map and it has a grid on it, then you need to tell it how many squares or hexes it is vertically and horizontally. And this is important for scaling your tokens, which I'll show you in a moment. Now I happen to know that this is a 24 by 24, good old 5 foot, if you like, square hex. So I set the map size, and bosh, there you go. We've got a map. That's nice. Now that you have a map, you can of course share it with your table. So let's do that. I left click on the map, and you can do a variety of things with it. You can just view it yourself if you're feeling selfish. Actually, given that I'm the only person on this table, doesn't really make any difference, does it? But I'll show you what happens if you make it public, because that's the way the table gets to see it. So here we go, make it public. Marvellous. I've done that. Now, making it public actually doesn't do very much. What it does do is it means that it becomes an asset in every other player's tray. Probably not the one I was looking for, actually. Let's show it to the party. That's probably what I meant to do. Now, the interesting thing about sharing a map is that once you get into the main share mode, all the players' videos are, if you like, striped along the bottom there. So if I had 5 players, I'd have another 5 video streaming running there. I haven't seen how that scales yet, but you are now sharing your map. You can zoom around on your map, you can move it around. Each player can do this, and I can do something with tokens, except I don't have any, so I can't do very much with tokens. So that's not great. I can draw on the map if I really felt like it. I don't know if I want to draw on the map, but let's just do it for argument's sake. Look at this. This is interesting. Not very. So you can also delete things on the map as well. So you've got your map. Not great without tokens. So let's go to the token display down here. and I want to add a token. I'm going to upload an asset again. I'm going to get myself a token. I think I found one. Yeah, Hakon the Scald. I created a token earlier. Here's one I created earlier. Bang, here we go. Asset, I'm going to call him Hakon. I'm probably going to spell him wrong now. Poor old Hakon. Sorry, Hakon. There you go. And I'm going to say it's a token. I'm going to add it to my assets. Now, the key thing when you add a token is it immediately wants to scale it because it wants to apply it to various maps that you've already put on. So if I go to a square map, well, actually, it's pretty much set up perfectly for one square. And as it happens, I want this token to basically be contained within one square. So I set the token scale. You can change the token scale at any time. Hurrah! I now have a token. Variety of things I can do now. I can make the token public. Now, by making the token public, that is particularly useful because that means it becomes available to other players to use and to control on the maps. I can, again, go back to the token scale. I can take it from the table. It stays an asset in your library, but you remove it from this particular table, or you can view it in another window, which opens up another window. I shan't bother with that. Okay, but now that I've got my token, I can choose to place it on my map, and I can place it pretty much anywhere I like. So let's put Hakon there. And I can control that token now and move Hakon around, which is quite fun. Now, at this stage, 0.2.4, we don't have anything like Fog of War or anything like that. Also, the tokens are very much just that. They are visual representations of the characters on a particular map. It doesn't do anything else, so I can move it around. If I right click, it doesn't do anything really very much. If I left click, it doesn't do anything either. So it very much is just a representation at this stage. I'm pretty sure over time we'll get a range of other features, including maybe something about attributes that a token can have. But nevertheless, there you go. I can minimize this. Now, minimizing the map just makes it another picture or another video box, if you like, in the Role main interface. So, mostly, kind of that's it. Obviously, I'm not actually running a game right now. The nice thing about the assets is assets could be a full PDF. So you could have PDF characters as well dropped into there. So you can look at PDFs of your characters, which is quite nice. You indeed, in fact, why not just add another asset? I'm going to add another asset just while we're here and together. I'm going to put Hakon the Scald. I did spell him wrong. Look at that. Terrible. I'm going to open that up and I'm going to call it, just going to call it Hakon. It's not a map or a token. It's just a visual. It's just a visual cue. I'm going to add it to my assets. So it'll add that now. There we go. Hasn't asked me for the scaling or the number of squares or anything like that because it's not a map. And I could, if I wanted to, show the party that particular graphic. That's interesting. That doesn't scale, does it? I can minimize it. I can't do anything. Oh, yes, I can. I can move them around, look. It's just a PNG. So I wanted to say, look, Hakon looks like this. I can do that. I can sort of throw him up onto the main display, and I can minimize him as well. Minimizing him, yeah, that's not quite so useful, minimizing him, is it? But certainly I can at least show him there, and I can elect to stop sharing him. And I can switch back, and I want to share the map. I can get back to my assets, and I can go like this, and I can show the party. And we're back into map mode. I'll zoom out a little bit. There we go, and I can zoom in. Start moving them around. So that's what we got with maps and tokens and some of the assets that you can do. That's now in my library, and it's also in the table content, if you like. So, I mean, the good thing is each table has its own, if you like, assets associated with it. You can roll lots of dice. Bosh, I'm going to roll a d4 just for a laugh. You can make it private. Oh, the one thing is, if you get a maximum of a dice roll, if a die rolls, its top number, it has a very slightly different surround. It goes a little bit ready to say, well done, you got a maximum dice roll. You can make dice rolls private, so I could roll it again. And no one else gets to see that roll apart from me. With multiple players playing, dice rolls appear, I think, top left. I've done very little of that, so you can see what other people are doing in terms of their dice rolls. Okay. Bang. Let's stop sharing that, which means I'm going to come to the 4. Now, as far as I can tell, if you put tokens on a map, it remembers them. I don't know whether it remembers them between sessions. I think it does. So there's a bit of persistence in terms of your tokens on maps. Now, largely, that's, I think, it. And the reason that I like it, I think, is that it's got that audio-visual element, and it's something that I think is lacking, really, in most of the other virtual tabletops, at least that I've seen. Roll20 is excellent. It's got some great features. Onboard audio visuals on Roll20 probably isn't its strong point. I'm a big fan of Let's Roll as well. That's great, and that has focused on maps and tokens. It does it really, really well and very attractively, and that's in beta. So there's lots of things happening in the virtual tabletop space. I wanted to give you a very early kind of taken view, if you like, on the Role virtual tabletop. I think it's got a lot going for it. Let's have a look at the about. Okay, so that's where we are. Where are we? 0.2.4. I'm somewhere in that big list of many backers. I'm in there somewhere. You've got a rundown of some of the fixes that are taking place. They are doing lots of bug fixes and sorting outs as we head towards broader access. In the works, some things that are coming: text chat system, a ping system, those customizable sheet templates. I'm looking forward to that. And some additional games will be supported as well. So, I'm hoping Pathfinder 2nd Edition's going to get thrown in there. That'd be great for me. Or indeed others. Traveller would be quite nice. I'm just saying. So lots of kind of really lovely things to come. Let's go back to my dashboard. Yeah, there it is. I've got an extra sheet there. You'll see my table test is there. If I wanted to fully delete that table, then I'd need to delete it from my dashboard. So there's kind of a way of managing your content a little bit as well. Great. Well, that's probably pretty much it. I'm going to pop back into this table for a second. I'm going to join the video. There it is. Tremendous. Well, thank you for watching. I hope that gives you a very quick and early view of the Role tabletop. Go on, why not? Let me just view sheets. I'm going to add a new sheet. I'm going to add a 5th edition character sheet called Galadron. Which sounds like a robot, doesn't it? Never mind, whatever. Bang. Come on, Galadron. There you are, there's Galadron. And I can fill in all the bits, and it scrolls this way in terms of your sheets, but there's also a fast quicker view of it, so I can put in my my stats. Oops, that's for dice rolling, isn't it? I need to be able to edit the sheet first. Edit the sheet. I can add in, I don't know, a 3. There you go. So if I now do want to do a dice roll, I can do a d20 plus a 3, and that gives me a number, adding my strength bonus in, which is probably something you never do in 5e. You don't use those stats in that way in Pathfinder anyway. Bosh, get rid of that. So you can create multiple sheets. I've still got my note sheets, which I can switch back to if I want to make notes. So yeah, multiple sheets. Cool, I've done enough, I think. Quick view of the Role virtual tabletop. I like it. I think it's going to be very, very useful. I think if the audio visuals stack up, and they are as good as people are saying they're going to be, then I think it could be a really, really, really fun virtual tabletop, not least because you can see your mates all in that sort of integrated desktop virtual tabletop experience, which I think will be a lot of fun. Okay, very good. Well, I'm going to say thank you very much to you all, and I am going to leave it there. Happy gaming.